Coming to you from the Sea of Stars, it's Astro Viking here. In this video, I'm going to teach you the ways of this amazing hog deck that I've created, and it's just been working great for me. Now, one disclaimer is that this deck is horrible at getting 3 crowns, but I don't see that as a deal breaker. Now, speaking of crowns, my clan has just gotten the clan chest, and let's open it up and see what we get. Hopefully, a legendary. So, 3,150 gold, that's pretty good. 2 fireballs, 20 royal giants, 8 rockets, 124 elite barbarians, 18 tombstones, 137 archers. This is having a ton of commons and uncommons. Let's see what else. A mega minion, 24 mega minions, 187 Teslas. Lastly, 5 clone spells. That's not too bad since I have not upgraded this thing at all, so I guess I can upgrade that now, but no legendaries. There you can see everything we got. It's actually pretty decent. I'll take those. Okay, so now then, let me get into a few replays, and I'll show you how to use this deck, and I'll give you some tips. Okay, so in this first replay, I'm playing Mike Jr., and he has a HogYard deck, and I believe he has a giant in here. So I start off with the Ice Golem and Graveyard. Now the Graveyard and Ice Golem is an amazing push because it's somewhat cheap. The Ice Golem is a great tank, but it can obviously be shut down, as you see here, with splash damage troops such as the Valkyrie. Now, the Ice Golem is really nice in this deck because it serves as a tank for many of the troops like the HogYard and the Graveyard. Now, the log there I used to take out the Princess and do a little bit of damage on the Valkyrie. So now then, for defense, I play the Mega Minion and the P.E.K.K.A. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. is just such a great troop, I feel like. And also, another thing here, you see the Ice Golem, and that sets up for a nice counter push, which he's able to shut down with the Skeleton Army, but the Ice Golem's explosion kills off all those and lets our Hog bring his tower down to 1939. Now, what we're just going to do here is charge up on Elixir. With this deck, you don't want to be too low because you don't have any super cheap cards. The cheapest card here is the Log and the Zap, but you don't have too many super cheap cards. So when you get the chance, just charge up to 10 Elixir, and it will be beneficial in the long run. So now then, he plays the Giant in the back. With this then, I don't want to play the Elite Barbarians because those will get to the bridge and be hit by his tower before they hit the Giant. So the Mega Minion is a slower troop, so that's great for hitting the Giant here. Now the Mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm just putting as reinforcement, but he goes ahead and flanks me with the Valkyrie and HogYard. But here you see the Ice Golem again taking the shots from the Valkyrie, as well as the Elite Barbarians, which go to counter that push pretty successfully. Now he uses the Skeleton Army again to counter my Mini P.E.K.K.A., but he did not save any Elixir to counter those Elite Barbarians, which proceed to just take down his tower and almost take out his bomber right there, but shouldn't be a big deal there. But he plays the Giant now in front of everything, so I'm going ahead and doing a slight flank on the other side with the HogRider, and then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Minion just great at taking out the Giant. Now if you see here, minion hordes can be a problem in this deck since there aren't many air defenses, but the Ice Golem and Zap takes them out, and that's still beneficial as far as Elixir cost, because that's 4 Elixir for 5, so great Elixir trade there. Now then, I make the mistake of using the Log here on his Princess when I probably should have saved it for his Skeleton Army, but I have to play the Elite Barbarians, but that still takes a ton of damage on that left tower. So now then I play the Ice Golem and HogRider here just to keep up the pressure. If he does take this left tower, I will hopefully take a lot, planning on taking his right tower, which he takes my left tower, I take his right tower. We're still ahead, 2 towers, 1, and we win the game. This next battle, I'm playing a guy who uses the HogRider and Skeleton Army. So both those troops I saw in the last battle. But here, we start off with the HogRider and the Graveyard. Now, a HogRider is great for starting. You can send it by itself. But he played the Goblin Barrel, which I can counter very well with the Log. Now, that Log is pretty good, is really good in this deck. It's able to take out princesses, skeleton armies, and all that kind of stuff here. So what I do is just go all out with a push with HogRider and Graveyard and Ice Golem there. But he's able to take that out. See, that skeleton army is super powerful right now. So you need to have some cards like the Log and the Zap and arrows to take that out. Now, he sees that I've used both my Zap and my Log, so he plays a good Goblin Barrel there. Deals some damage to my tower. Not deadly, but, you know, it's a little bit of chip damage there, which is great for him. So, now, the Ice Golem here I use to set up a nice counter push with the Mega Minion. But he's able to shut that down by pushing the Ice Golem back. And then his tower locks onto my Mega Minion, and then his Inferno Tower takes out everything else. So, his Princess here, I take out with my Elite Barbarians. That's a horrible elixir trade, but I did that because I was planning on getting a nice counter push, but he sadly countered that again with a Skeleton Army. As you can see, Skeleton Army is just deadly for this deck. So what I recommend is you keep something prepared like the Zap or Log when you're going in for a push, and that way you can take out that stuff. So then my Hog Rider ends up getting to his tower. He takes out the Mini P.E.K.K.A. That's okay. The Hog Rider gets a ton of hits on his tower, brings it down to 1362. Now, I suddenly just surged ahead and got more damage on his tower, so that's great. Now, here we're just going to charge up on Elixir, like I said last game. That's great. You don't want to be down in Elixir because your best defense cards, Elite Barbarians and Mini P.E.K.K.A., those aren't cheap, so you gotta have enough to defend. So, the Log there takes out the Princess, and he plays the Goblin Barrel, but he plays it on the front of my tower, which is a mistake on his part, because my Elite Barbarians are right there ready to take it out. So now, as you can see, the Graveyard here is going, and I'm hoping to get a lot of damage there. Now, one of my Elite Barbarians gets there, as well as the Hog Rider, and the Graveyard stacks up. There we go, we take his left tower. Now, he plays the Goblin Barrel, and we're able to take that out with the Log again. Now, as you can see here, I'm going to use the Ice Golem to take out the Minion Horde. Again, that's great for taking that out. Now, I zap his second Minion Horde, and our tower takes that out, and then Mini P.E.K.K.A. takes out his Princess. So, now I have the Log. I just need to hold him off for 10 seconds. So I kind of panic here, which means it's going to be a close game. But luckily, I had the Log, which can push back the Hog Rider and take out the Skeleton Army. And at the end there, he dropped his Princess, which was immediately taken out too. Okay guys, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Again, this deck is really relying on the Ice Golem as a tank. It works super well with the Hog Rider and the Graveyard. So, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.